So, something interesting we find in the Shulchan Aruch and the laws of Yom Kippur. Over there it talks about things that a person has to do to get forgiveness from his friend. You know, if he did something wrong to him, he has to come to apologize. We're not talking about Yom Kippur now, but there's something over there which is very interesting, which is, that says the Ramah, something interesting there, and also something very scary. That if a person, we have the prohibition in the Torah of Lashon Hara, right? Lashon Hara is a very big sin. A person shouldn't take it lightly, talking about people, things, whatever. We know how bad that is. But it says the Ramah over there, in the Shulchan Aruch, laws of Yom Kippur, that if a person said MOTZI Shemra about his fellow Jew, right? So there's MOTZI Shemra, there's Lashon Hara. What's the difference between this and that?
What's MOTZI Shemra?
What's the difference? So that's the question. So what's the difference? Lashon Hara, it means it's emet, it's true what he said. This is Lashon Hara. What's MOTZI Shemra? It's not true. It's not emet. So which one is worse? MOTZI Shemra is worse, right? It's not emet, it's sheker. He's talking about lies about him. So, a person like this, right, who's speaking lies about somebody, giving him a bad reputation, ruining his reputation. And you should know, by the way, what happens is that when you speak Lashon Hara, not only you ruin somebody's reputation, MOTZI Shemra, but also you're hurting his parnasah sometimes, because now he has no business. Nobody wants to do business with him anymore. Because they say, we heard some things about this guy. Some rumors, he did some things. You understand? So you can lose also his parnasah. So this is the reason why the Ramah says over there, he brings it down in the name of the big Rishonim, Hagot Maimoniot, and the Mahariv, and others over there, that what? They say that you don't have to forgive somebody, who spoke MOTZI Shemra on you. You don't have to forgive him. Why? Because he damaged you in a way which maybe you can never repair this damage. Because now, everybody has a bad name on you. There are saying bad things about you, and this can hurt you for all your life. I'm sorry?
What's his punishment?
What's his punishment? Huh? Good question. Huh? What's the punishment? You know what they say, right? Person who speaks MOTZI Shemra, Lashon Hara, eno chelek lamba. He has no portion in the world to come. Eno chelek lamba. This is the punishment of somebody who speaks Lashon Hara. It's a very, very severe thing. So says the Ramah, you don't have to forgive him. So what does that mean? Even if he did teshuvah, right? Let's say, king, and he told him, "Oh, I'm sorry, I said this about you, please forgive me." So he regrets it. He wants to do teshuvah, but this guy can tell him, "Listen, I'm sorry, I can't forgive you. Why? Because you ruined my reputation. I lost my business. I lost my good name in the community. I lost everything. You destroyed me. How can I forgive you about this? What can I do? How can I fix this problem? I can't. You destroyed my life. So therefore, says the Ramah, you don't have to forgive him, because it's damage which cannot be repaired sometimes.
Can he compensate with money?
Money is good. Money is always good. It's always good. That's very good. But really, the truth is, even money won't fix the problem. It's it's funny, right? So it's true, yeah. It's not going to fix the problem. You have a bad name, and everybody's looking at you, look at this, Look at this. This one, yeah. We heard what he did. Yeah. This guy. Everybody's looking at you. So this is a terrible thing, MOTZI Shemra, Shemirachem. So comes the Mishnah Berurah anyway, right? On the bottom there, and says the Mishnah Berurah, even though you're not obligated to forgive him, it's emet, really, you're not obligated to forgive him, but he says if you're a tzaddik, you should forgive him anyway. In other words, you're, clean neshama, right? Good neshama, good soul. If you're like this, so what does that mean? You have full faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You believe whatever happened to you, it's all from Hashem. So okay, this guy did to you something, but if it wasn't for the will of Hashem, it wouldn't happen. So if you're a tzaddik like this, right, you understand that, that everything comes from Hashem, so then you should forgive him anyway, because...
In what cases you forgive him? If he comes and asks for...
Yeah.
Or
if he didn't do teshuvah, for sure you shouldn't forgive him, no. Why forgive him? He's a Rasha. Rasha, you don't forgive Rasha. You understand? You forgive tzaddik. Somebody wants to do teshuvah, you forgive him. Rasha, you don't forgive Rasha. You say Rasha, you're Rasha. You think that you're right what you did? Okay, so then why should I forgive you?
But it's gonna eat you inside if you don't forgive him. What about that?
I like that. That's good. That's good. He's a good neshama. He's a good neshama. Kohen. He has a good neshama. God bless you. It's true what you're saying. Okay, whatever, right? If you're on that level, you should forgive him. If it bothers you like that, you should forgive him. Yeah, you're right. It's true. We didn't say you can't forgive him. We said you're not obligated to forgive him. That's what we said. That's the thing, right? You can forgive him if you want, but you're not obligated. But when it comes to other sins, you should forgive him. Don't be so hard. Hard man. No, you did this to me. That's it. We're finished. You shouldn't be like that. When somebody comes to you before Yom Kippur and asks you for mechila, so forgive him. Don't be such a jerk. What are you? What kind of person are you? You should forgive. But Motzi Shemra is hard. So only a real tzaddik will forgive. Motzi Shemra. If you have to be a good tzaddik, good neshama, like this one, right? You have to be like that, so you will forgive. Okay, fantastic, right? Baruch Hashem, Yishtabach Shemo. So that this is what happened. This happened to many people. Sometimes we don't realize. So what happened with David, right? David, So what happened, right? The name got out. The rumor got out. Yeah, he took somebody else's wife. He committed adultery. Yeah. So they were coming, David. And so I'm going to answer your question. Exactly what you're talking about. So they came to David. They used to come. The wise guys. Letzanim. They are letzanim. They like to make jokes about everything. They like to make fun of people. And make a mockery out of everybody. So they were coming to David and sing like this, right? Coming to David and telling him, David, excuse me, Rabbi David, what is the punishment for somebody who commits adultery? Ni'uf. They would ask him, laughing at him, mocking him like this. What is his punishment? They asked him, So, what he would answer them, right? It says in Midrash. He would answer them, he didn't want to, put up his fist and fight with them, like a crazy, like Meshuggah. No, he wasn't like that, David, He only fought with the enemies of Hashem, the enemies of God, the enemies of Hashem, the enemies of Jewish people. He didn't fight with the Jewish people like that. So what he would answer them? He would tell them, yeah, okay, somebody who committed adultery is chayav mitah. It's true. But he told them, but he has a chelik in olam haba. After they kill him, yesh lo chelik in olam haba. Because he got kapara when he died. He got kapara when he died. But he said, somebody who's Motzi Shemra, he says, Eno Chelek Olam. He was talking about him, He was answering him like this, You're Motzi Shemra on me, you have no Chelek Olam. I have Chelek Olam, you don't. You understand? That's what he would answer them. You get it? Yeah.
He still got punished. His first baby passed away.
It's true. So what's the story with that, right? Just to say, short, right? I don't want to take too long. But, there's a Gemara in Shabbat. It says over there that whoever says David, sinned, he's mistaken, making a mistake, right? He didn't break any halakha. What's the reason for that? Why? Because when Uriah Hittite, right, there was the husband of this lady, right, Bathsheba, Uriah Hittite. When he went out to war, they used to give a get to their wife. They were divorced already. So whatever he did, it was after she was divorced. You understand? So really, technically speaking, there was no chet. There was no sin over there,
It's on the paper, but in real life it was.
That's exactly what I told you about Abarbanel, right? Abarbanel says, in real life, he committed adultery. That's what he says. According to the Pshat. But according to the Gemara, looks like you're coming from his neshama, Abarbanel. You're coming from the same neshama. I'm sorry, always say.
I'm saying on the paper by Laha, he's divorced, but because he has to go to war. But in his mind, he's not going nowhere. He's coming back to his home.
Whatever. Okay, so I see what you mean. I understand you. I got you. But halakha is halakha. What I mean? That's the way it is. Halakha is halakha. We live by the halakha. That's how we live.
Yes.
So anyway, now I'll tell you something interesting. We finish over here. After Zorah Kadosh, if that's true, like it says in the Gemara, that David HaMelech didn't do any sin with Bathsheba. There was no sin there, So then why did they punish him? Like you asked, right? They punished him. For what they punished him? If he didn't do any sin.
It was funny.
It was funny. Okay, yeah. But the Zohar says, yeah, what you're saying is correct, according to the simple, idea there. But the Zohar says something else, a different answer it gives. You would never think of this, by the way, The Zohar says, it's true, what he did with Bathsheba, there was no sin over there. So they punished him for something else. That came from this, was a byproduct, Tolada of this. What was it? They punished him because he killed Uriah Hittite.
He sent you on, right?
Okay, now here's the story, right? Yeah, let's say the story, right? The story is that he sent a letter to Yoav, right? And he sent it to Uriah Hittite, by the way. He put an envelope. He sent him his own death sentence. Can you imagine? He's walking in his pocket, and he's in his pocket. It says here, "Kill me," kill me. That's what it says. He didn't know. He didn't know what was in there. You understand? So he's taking it in his pocket. He's giving it to Yoav, who was the chief general, right? Ramatkal. He's the chief of staff, So Yoav opens the letter and says, "Oh, I see. Oh, okay." So he killed him. He put him in a place which is dangerous. Got killed. He didn't kill him himself. Yeah, put him in a place which is dangerous. In front of the wall, They're throwing stones over there.
On the front line.
Bum, yeah, front line, exactly. Ah, good. So now, what happened, right? So, he got killed, So the Gemara says, also this was no sin for David. No sin there. Why? Because he was allowed to kill him because he was Mored b'malchut. He didn't listen to the words of David. David told him, go to your house, Go to your wife. He didn't go. He slept in the street like a bum, like a homeless. He slept. He didn't go and go. You know this stuff, right? Homeless. He was homeless that night. Good question. Why?
David didn't commit no sin at all? Or?
No sin over there. Now here's the thing, right? Okay, I'm sorry. What are you saying?
He slept outside the door.
He was out in the street. He slept in the street.
No, outside
Yeah, in the street. He was in the street. That's what it is. Okay. So now here's the thing, right? Question number one, right? Why didn't he want to go home, right? So David asked him this question, He asked him, why didn't you didn't listen to me? What? I told you to go home. I told you. Why are you sleeping in the street?
Because his wife already was pregnant.
Yeah, but he didn't know that.
Yeah.
So now here's the thing, right? So you know what he answered him? He answered David. He says, I don't want to go home. He says, you know why? Because we're in the middle of a war now, and I'm fighting. We're fighting. It's not the time now to have pleasure with my wife. He said, it's not the time for that now. That's what he said. So David said, oh, I see. Oh, you don't listen to me? I told you something? You're marad b'malchut. You're chayav mitah. So now I'm going to kill you. So there was no sin to kill him like that. So then what does this Zohar mean that there was a sin there that he killed him? Why? What does that mean? This is the question, right? So you know what the answer is? It says Zohar Kadosh, something amazing. Zohar is so deep, deep, very deep stuff there. It says Zohar Kadosh, he should have killed him himself, the Melech should have killed him. But what did he do? He sent them to be killed by the Goyim, the Arelim, the enemies of Hashem. He said this was the sin. If he's Mored b'malchut, you should kill him. What, you're sending him to be killed by the Arelim, by the enemies of Hashem? This is a terrible way to die, It's a disgrace. And this is why he was punished. That's what the Zohar Kadosh says. ברוך ה' לעולם, אמן ואמן. רבי חנינא בן השומר, אז הקדוש ברוך הוא לא צריך לישראל, לפיך הכי בא להם צורם וצור שנאמר לחפש, למען צדקו יגדיל תורה ויאדיר.